It's been a while since we've been to Robert's house and seeing what he's done on his layout here, and I'm going to turn it over to him. He could explain to us what's going on.
Hi, Bob. How are you?
I'm good. So what's going on, Robert? Tell us about your layout now.
We've been over in the work area, which is totally separate, and Bob H. and I finally got the turntable all finished.
All right.
And it's all wired up, and if anybody's ever done a turntable before, correctly at least, to where it all moves and everything's right, the brushes, getting all the brushes aligned and everything like that, it's definitely more than a one-person job. But that's all modeled, and you can see it's laying there nicely. We got to put all the rest of the track to it, but it powers nicely, so we've got to wire the AR1 and everything to it.
Nice how you got the brown, in between down that track there. That looks so sharp.
I wanted all the rail and the wood to match. So
Yes.
obviously, when we landscape and everything and put some ballast in there, it all matches.
I see you added this recently.
Yeah, the fueling center, which like yours, this actually comes in a dual rail setup, but you can cut it, and we're just utilizing one rail of it in the concrete, and we have the diesel tank there that supplies the fuel.
Very nicely color coded, with the paints and all that.
I don't think last
Very
time
nice.
we had this built. This is, the roundhouse. We had it built, but we didn't have it in its place. This is where it's going to go,
Very nice.
and whatnot. And like I said, we're going to have a couple of tracks. One here for an engine. We're going to have one that'll probably come a little further, and this will be one of the two yard switchers will be stationed here.
I see.
This one, we're just going to put fun little wheels, rusted wheels on there. Just get into some rails, because
see.
you've been working in the roundhouse on stuff.
Cool.
The other switcher will be stationed up here. In addition to that, we've been down here and kind of laying out. I kind of know what industries I'd like in the layout, and what we're going to have. One of the big industries is going to be an ethanol plant.
I see.
And the ethanol plant has several parts. You've got the processing center, but you also have the cooling tower with the shed and tank. Over there, you have the corn storage, because all ethanol obviously starts with corn. And then you have the fermentation tanks as well. Well, the fermentation tanks, they don't get anything delivered to them. That's just part of the process, and it'll be piped. So we're going to have some piping and such,
cool.
throughout the design of the scenery. But the tankers do take the finished product away, and of course we have some box cars that deliver some of the supplies that the facility needs. But this area is kind of turned out pretty neat, and we've decided to have the dual track, so you can have a run around off the main line. The object was get the vehicle, get the job off the main lines to do this. We decided that this is going to be a mainline job, so we got several jobs over here. But you're going to come off the main line and come around, and you're going to have a run around in here as well. So there'll be two tracks, so you can bring your train in with the full, put the empties in, and you can move around. But you're going to have a building here that we're going to have fed by this track. And then you got a line here that'll feed this building, a line here that'll feed this building, and a line here that'll feed this building. This is one industry. I believe this is my daughter named Holly's Berries. And then these are both, there'll be two separate buildings. They're going to be the same, but they're one big plant. It's going to be a parts manufacturing facility for car parts. And I haven't decided what this is going to be named yet. Bob, I think I'll leave that one to you.
Oh.
You can decide what that building's going to be.
I'll come up with a name. That's for sure.
So, some kind of industry for you.
I gotcha.
So we've decided that, and that flows really well, and it's all off the main line.
And what's that back there?
Well,
What was
that
that
back
again?
there is where the farmers go to the co-op. So that's going to be the farmer co-op, where they actually sell their grain to the co-op, and there's going to be silos. I'm going to get two silos. I'm going to cut one in half, put one against this building, and put one full one in the middle, and then one have this side. It'll be a little side, but that's where the farmers sell their grain. Well, they send their grain and sell their grain to the ethanol plant. So you got a little bit of a full circle
I
thing
see.
going on here.
Okay. What about this over here?
Well, once the farmer sold their grain to the co-op can sell their grain back to the ethanol plant. So we got a couple of jobs over here where you'll pull off the main and you'll be able to switch to a couple of hoppers over here, and then we'll have a couple of hoppers going to the flour mill,
I see.
because the farmers also sell, the co-op also sells to the flour mill.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're gonna have another industry down in that corner too that we'll go around and be able to go to. So they'll get one box car. We're not sure what that's gonna be yet.
Very cool.
But it seems to me like it's all worked out well, and counted cars. I think it'll be perfect for the jobs and the amount of the yard will be able to facilitate the jobs that are
So
here.
what do you think about how many people you think can actually be operating down here?
Well, the way I have it in my mind, of course, you know, one thing in your mind and one thing the way it works out, but there's definitely going to be 2 people working the yard.
Mm-hmm.
At least one person can do it, but I'd like 2, because you have 2 switchers, one working this half of the yard and one working that half of the yard. So you got one guy bringing in and undoing the train that just came in, and another guy building the next train that's going out. So you got 2 people working here. Well, that leaves room for all the rest of the area here. So you have a job, big job here. One person can be here working this job. So you have a pretty big job here. Another person can be over here working this back job. There's a couple jobs here. And of course, you know, you get the small job over here that maybe we'll tie those 2 together. And then you can have another person over here that's going to be working. There's multiple jobs here, so maybe just working one of them. So you can have 5 people in here easy. 5 people in here easy.
5 people. All right. Sounds like you got everything really coming along.
Well, maybe you should show them the empty slate that
I could do
originally-
that.
The next time,
Our
after we get this all going and operating,
Expansion.
both ends.
All right.
And I think we're gonna have a little area over here. Come through this, and there'll be a township over here.
Mm-hmm.
That was real industrial. I think we may have a little bit more of a town feel to this over here. But it's gonna have it's gonna have a peninsula that comes down here. And this will be the yard for this end of it. This will be the west end yard. That's the East Bluff yard, West Bluff yard. And this area over here is gonna have a long go down and all be connected to the peninsula. But the only way to access that over there is from that area. And then we'll go through the wall over here, and there'll be a mountain. We'll come down. This will actually be a lot of pretty scenery with maybe a lake or a river crossing here as well.
Okay. So in other words, we're working on this side over here, as you can see. We did a lot of work in this area, and then eventually, when you get this all pretty well established here, then you're going to come through the wall, and then we're going to get into this area here. That'll be very nice.
It's like
Very nice.
double your fun with double mint gum.
Yeah, there you go.